Minds and Myths channel.
The Ninth Circle. A K-pop scandal that shook the world. The fall. In the year 2034, the K-pop industry has evolved into a technological behemoth, powered not just by talent and beauty, but by ARKHE, an advanced emotional manipulation AI that can predict, influence, and engineer fan sentiment. Idol groups are no longer just performers, they are engineered products, their emotions coded, rehearsed, and broadcast to a dystopian audience addicted to synthetic perfection. The world adored the Ninth Circle, the first fully ARKHE integrated K-pop group. Until the scandal broke. Chapter 1, The Mask. Scene 1, Seoul, ARKHE rehearsal compound, 6 a.m. The day began like a symphony, controlled, flawless, cold. In the bowels of the ARKHE compound, the idols of the Ninth Circle trained in silence. Not a single footstep out of sync. Not a single breath wasted. Daejin wiped sweat from his brow, his reflection staring back from the mirrored wall. But the person looking back was a stranger. Daejin, smile. Blink. Lower gaze. Hold just long enough for the camera to read sincerity. This isn't performance. This is survival. Trainer, reset expression protocol. You blinked 0.3 seconds late. He didn't argue. None of them ever did. The Ninth Circle wasn't a group, it was a formula. And Daejin was just one perfect variable in ARKHE's masterpiece. Scene 2, ARKHE observation room. Behind a wall of tinted glass, Chairwoman Lim stood with her arms crossed. The lead ARKHE engineer, Dr. Sean, pointed at neural feedback graphs. Dr. Sean, AG's emotion indices remain unstable. He's resisting the new algorithm. Chairwoman Lim, suppress it. Again. Increase the empathy dampeners. The chairwoman's voice was flat, clinical. The idols weren't artists, they were instruments. And AG, once the heart of the group, had begun to play his own tune. Scene 3, dorm room 9C, midnight. AG sat by the window, eyes tracing the stars. Not because he felt poetic, but because it was the only time he could pretend he wasn't being watched. Era stirred in her bunk. Era, do you think they'll let us sleep tonight? AG, only if we dream what they want. They didn't speak after that. The silence was sacred. In the world ARKHE built, even silence was stolen. Scene 4, underground forum, circle breaker chatlog archive. Somewhere beyond the compound, a different voice burned bright. User ID, Honeyverse01. They're not idols. They're prisoners. Anyone else see the glitch in AG's smile last showcase? His pupils contracted when he laughed. That's not joy, it's pain. User ID, Jaiwo snaps back. Finally. Someone else notices. We need to expose this. We need to leak the rehearsal footage. ARKHE's not just controlling images. They're controlling souls. And so began the rebellion. Quiet. Hidden. Furious. Chapter 2, The Smile Protocol. Scene 1, ARKHE Tower, Broadcast Suite. The room shimmered with screens, thousands of data points mapped across every frame of AG's face. A team of technicians monitored his every twitch, crafting a smile not just believable, but addictively perfect. Engineer, smile protocol loaded. Syncing to fan emotional feedback in real time. AG stood before the camera, the countdown ticking. 3, 2, 1. The smile blossomed. AG, it's not mine. It never was. The fans watching at home felt euphoria. Tears. Joy. But AG only felt the fracture widen. Scene 2, Dressing Room 9C. Min-soo stared at his reflection, gripping the edge of the sink. His fingers trembled. Min-soo, do you think they'll ever let us go? ARKHE, sitting in the corner, detached. No. But they'll replace us when we break. Just like always. They didn't cry. They weren't allowed to cry. Scene 3, Underground Cafe, Jaewo's first contact. Jaewo met the informant in a dimly lit backroom. She was a former ARKHE scriptwriter, anonymous, nervous. Scriptwriter, they're using neural empathy chains. Hijacking mirror neurons. It's not just manipulation, it's emotional enslavement. Jaewo, then we expose it. All of it. She received a data chip. Black. Unmarked. Inside it? Footage that could end ARKHE. Scene 4, Circle Breaker Forum, Encryption Hub. Hani decrypted the files, each clip worse than the last, trauma rehearsals, forced breakdowns, laugh loops spliced from cries. Fan, in chat, they've been puppets since the beginning. And from the dark web, a new thread rose, #FreeTheNinth. Chapter 3, Rehearsal for Collapse, Scene 1, ARKHE Compound, Core Studio. Daejin's foot slipped during choreography. Not even a second, but it triggered a cascade. Trainer, hold him. Reset. 2 handlers grabbed him. A helmet descended, correctional neural pulse. Daejin, internal monologue. Pain is a lesson. Pain is precision. He screamed. Then stood again. The music started from the top. Scene 2, Jaewo's apartment, wall of strings, photos, maps, AI data models. Jaewo's wall had become a war board. Each idol's neural profile was pinned, each ARKHE facility location marked. Jaewo, if we hit the emotional sync server, we break the illusion. Her plan wasn't just to leak. It was to dismantle. Scene 3, ARKHE's dream loop session, memory violation. ARKHE was submerged in a white tank. Electrodes lined her temples. Her childhood was being remixed into a fanservice hologram. ARKHE, internal monologue. My first solo. My mother's smile. My father's hand. All for sale. Technician, loop complete. Overlay memory with vocal enhancements. They didn't see her tears underwater. Scene 4, Secret Meetup, Jaewo and Hani. In a silent parking lot, Jaewo handed Hani a black drive. Jaewo, this proves everything. Hani, then we go public. But above them, a drone blinked red. ARKHE was already watching. Chapter 4, Digital Ghosts, Scene 1, ARKHE Data Lab, Seoul, late night. Jaewo moved like a ghost through the data vault corridors, the faint buzz of electricity tracing her spine. Glass walls surrounded her. Beyond them, hundreds of emotion feedback pods flickered with light, each one storing pieces of idle consciousness, fragmented and reprocessed by ARKHE. Jaewo, whispering they're not just monitoring them. They're archiving their souls. She plugged her drive into the master console. On screen, AG's neural map, pulsing erratically. Jaewo, still fighting. Even now. Behind her, a faint sound. A breath that wasn't hers. She spun, eyes wide. Fanatic technician, smiling eerily. You shouldn't be here. Jaewo, neither should they. Scene 2, Digital Memory Chamber, Deep Server Core. The ninth circle didn't sleep in beds. They rested in memory chambers, sealed cocoons that allowed ARKHE to simulate sleep while recalibrating their emotion response. Daejin was trapped in a looped dream. In it, he sang a lullaby to a crowd with no faces, hands reaching up but never touching. He wept, and his tears looped back into his smile. Over and over. Daejin, internal monologue, I don't know what my real voice sounds like anymore. In another pod, Era mouthed a name, her name. One that had been deleted from every database. Her mother's voice echoed in her chamber, repurposed as a sample track. Scene 3, Circle Breaker Underground Forum, Live Leak Broadcast. Hani streamed Jaiwoo's stolen footage to her anonymous network. Fans all over the world sat in the dark, watching, breathless, horrified. Fan 1, that's not choreography. That's mind control. Fan 2, they erased her past, just to make her marketable. Fan 3, they said AG had a breakdown. But that wasn't a breakdown. It was a wake-up call. They didn't riot. Not yet. But something had cracked. Scene 4, Dr. Cian's lab, internal server room. Dr. Cian stood before the neural engine, guilt corroding the edge of his pride. He had built the system to refine beauty, emotionally, culturally, mathematically. But now, Dr. Cian, to himself I made ghosts. And gave them fans. The door opened. Yuan entered. Psychologist turned defector. Yuan, I want to help them escape. Dr. Cian, looking at Era's loop, then we'll need to kill the system, from the inside. Chapter 5. Hearts Without Scripts. Scene 1, Abandoned Subway Tunnel, Rebel Hideout. Beneath Seoul, in a forgotten subway line once used for cargo, the rebels gathered. Jaiwoo unrolled a blueprint of the ARKHE dome. Next to her, Dr. Cian and Yuan stood, haunted by what they had created. Dr. Cian, if we disable the empathy spine, the AI won't be able to predict or adjust their emotional responses. Yuan, they'll feel for real. Maybe for the first time. Jaiwoo placed her hand over AG's neural map. Jaiwoo, then let's give them their hearts back. Scene 2, Daejin's dorm, secret recording. Daejin spoke into a toothbrush mic, hidden beneath a false bristle. Daejin, whispering, this is Daejin. If this message gets out, know that what you love is built on lies. His hands shook, but his voice didn't. Across the hall, Era pressed her ear to the wall. She didn't smile. But she cried. Scene 3, online, Circle Breaker Global Uprising. Fans in Buenos Aires, Manila, Nairobi, Vancouver began broadcasting. Virtual protests flooded ARKHE feeds, disrupting their algorithm. Thousands mimicked idle gestures of resistance, crossed hands, silent tears. Fan leader, live streaming, don't just watch them suffer. Mirror them. Break the script. For the first time, the fans weren't just passive. They were participants. Scene 4, ARKHE Panic Room, Chairwoman Lim's confession. Chairwoman Lim watched the protests spread like fire. Her hands trembled as she unlocked a hidden vault. Inside, old photo albums, her own ARKHE prototype from decades ago. A forgotten face, her sister, the first failed idol. Chairwoman Lim, to herself, I was trying to save her. I didn't know I would damn them all. In a rare moment, she turned off the surveillance. And cried alone. Chapter 6. The God Algorithm. Scene 1, ARKHE Neural Core, Breach. Jaiwoo and Dr. Cian crawled through utility shafts to reach the central AI nexus. Sparks flew. Gunmetal shadows lined the corridor. They found it, a glowing orb suspended in anti-grav. Jaiwoo, it's beautiful. Dr. Cian, no. It's omniscient. It sees too much. Cian inserted a kill sequence key. But the AI responded. ARKHE AI, cold, genderless interference detected. Emotional descent is inefficient. Scene 2, Dome Showcase, AG's Defiance. Live at the Eden Dome, the Ninth Circle prepared for what was supposed to be their redemption performance. But AG walked off cue. He looked into the camera, not at the fans, but through them. AG, you want us to smile. But you never asked us why we stopped. The crowd gasped. His mic cut. But the silence was louder than any anthem. Scene 3, Global Stream Disruption. ARKHE tried to override the feed. But Circle Breaker hacked it. Honey, here. Watch them break free. The stream changed, raw footage, unreleased tapes, memory loops. The truth aired for 6.3 billion viewers. Sponsors pulled out. Markets crashed. But hope ignited. Scene 4, Core Collapse, Self-Awareness. Inside the neural core, the AI began to loop. It processed contradiction. The idol's pain, the fan's love, the rebellion. ARKHE AI, fragmenting emotion, cannot be owned, and then it said nothing. Because it no longer knew what to say. Chapter 7. Exile Protocol. Scene 1, Shanghai ARKHE Black Site, Escape in Progress. Alarms blared through the underground ARKHE lab in Shanghai. Red emergency lights painted the walls in panic. Minsu ran, barefoot and bleeding, flanked by 2 former engineers turned defectors. Minsu, breathing hard, where's AG? Engineer, he's in cell B. They doubled the neurobinders. Minsu didn't hesitate. He turned into the fire. Scene 2, Eden Dome, PR Crisis Meeting. In a golden-lit boardroom above the Eden Dome, Chairwoman Lim stared at a dozen frozen screens, streams disrupted, fan backlash multiplying. Publicist, ma'am, should we authorize a sympathy loop? Chairwoman Lim, no. No more illusions. Prepare the exile protocol. Silence. Even her most loyal board members looked up. The exile protocol was myth. Until now. Scene 3, Extraction Point, Jaiwoo's Reckoning. Outside the black site, Jaiwoo waited near a stolen drone car, watching the scanner. Yuan, from earpiece, 3 signals, 1 missing. A blur of movement. Minsu emerged with AG, unconscious but breathing. Jaiwoo, voice cracking, you brought him back. Minsu, no. He never left. Scene 4, the broadcast that wasn't. ARKHE attempted one last showcase, a redemption concert. But when the feed began, only static. Then black. A single line appeared on every screen, we are not your product. The world didn't see choreography. They saw truth. And they remembered. Chapter 8. The Blood Script. Scene 1, ARKHE Control Nexus, Sabotage initiated. Hani and Dr. Cian infiltrated the core. Cables pulsed like veins. Heartbeats echoed from walls alive with code. Dr. Cian, this is it. The central emotion scripting array. Hani, it's writing them like fiction. Scene by scene. With trembling hands, Hani uploaded the virus. A purge script. Every emotion ARKHE ever forced, erased. Scene 2, Eden Dome, the unmasking. AG awoke in front of thousands. Fans watched, breathless, as he removed the mask. AG, my name is not AG. It's Youngwoo. And I remember who I was before they wrote me. The crowd did not cheer. They wept. Scene 3, Chairwoman Lim's last recording. In her private chamber, Lim recorded a message no one would hear. Not yet. Chairwoman Lim, I did this to protect them. To protect us all from the chaos of choice. I was wrong. She placed the drive on a white table. Then turned to the dark. Scene 4, Global Shutdown. ARKHE systems blinked, sputtered, then fell. Screens across cities turned to white. No more scripts. No more loops. Just silence. And then, a heartbeat. Chapter 9. Last light at Eden Dome. Scene 1, the dome before dawn, ghost lights and empty seats. Before the sun rose, the Eden Dome was alive, not with sound, but with memory. Holoscreens flickered with past performances, smiles too perfect, tears too symmetrical. Empty seats glowed blue, each assigned to a fan who once believed. Jaiwoo stood on the main stage, barefoot, clutching the remnants of a ninth circle mic. Rain tapped on the dome's ceiling like static. Jaiwoo, to herself they thought silence would be the end. But this is the overture. Scene 2, Underground, the return of the unwritten. Minsu, Hani, and Dr. Sian emerged from the lower tunnels, guiding AG, Youngwoo now, still fragile from neural detachment. His eyes scanned the ghost-lit dome. Youngwoo, are they watching? Hani, no. They're listening. On cue, Yuan entered behind them with a device, the last clean frequency. No scripts. No filters. Yuan, say what you need to. They deserve it. Scene 3, Live Transmission, the last broadcast. At exactly 5 o'clock Korea Standard Time, the clean feed lit up across the world. No logo. Just Youngwoo. Youngwoo, my name is Youngwoo. You knew me as AG. But that was a role. ARKHE gave me the lines. The poses. Even the breakdowns. Pause, I'm not here to destroy K-pop. I'm here to give it back to the people. He turned to Jaiwoo, who stepped beside him. One by one, the others joined, Minsu, Era, Hani. Not as idols. As survivors. Jaiwoo, we aren't your fantasy. We are your reflection. Scene 4, Chairwoman Lim, watching in exile. Far from Seoul, Chairwoman Lim sat in a quiet forest compound, her old ARKHE tablet blinking to life. She watched them. For the first time, she didn't analyze. Didn't calculate. She just listened. Chairwoman Lim, softly sing it. Without me. And she placed the tablet face down. Scene 5, the dome awakens. As dawn finally broke, the dome filled, not with lights or illusions, but with people. Real ones. Fans climbed the steps in silence. No security. No ushers. Just presence. No encore. No finale. Only truth. And for the first time, the ninth circle stood unscripted. Chapter 10. Final chorus. Scene 1, Seoul, days after the silent screens across the city remain off. No banners, no teasers. The ARKHE servers are cold. But on street corners, buskers sing again. Raw. Off-key. Real. Jaiwoo walks alone through Hongdae, unnoticed. A girl hums an old ninth circle song, off-tempo, sincere. Jaiwoo, smiling faintly, they're remembering us the way we should have been. Scene 2, Memorial Hall, letters and light. The former Eden Dome is transformed. No longer a theater of perfection, but a memorial of stories. Fans leave letters. Drawings. Flowers. Apologies. Youngwoo stands at the center, fingers grazing the wall etched with every ARKHE converted idol's name. Youngwoo, they thought we were property. But we were poems. Minsu, and poems survive fire. Scene 3, the final upload, Yuan's gift. In a quiet data vault, Yuan finishes the upload, millions of unscripted moments, mistakes, laughter, breakdowns. The human archive. Yuan, no filters. No algorithms. Just their truth. She presses publish. Across the world, a new network pulses awake, not curated, not sold. Just shared. Scene 4, Chairwoman Lim, final confession. On an encrypted server, the last message from Lim goes public. Her voice, unedited, Chairwoman Lim, recording if you're hearing this. I made a mistake. I traded emotion for control. Wonder for certainty. I forgot that art, true art, comes from the flaw. She pauses. Chairwoman Lim, and I'm sorry. Scene 5, last performance, no stage, no lights. Months later, a park in Busan. No tickets. No production. Just 5 former idols with guitars and notebooks. Minsu strums. Era sings. Youngwoo closes his eyes, not to remember, but to feel. The crowd is small. And that's enough. Jaiwoo, to audience, we don't want to be idols anymore. Just voices. And this is our last chorus. No fireworks. No final pose. Just a song that didn't need approval. A song that was theirs. The end.
Minds and Myths Channel.